Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.
Hi, I'm Brenna, and this is the Mama's Gone Mad podcast.
Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.
I've been a bit up and down recently, I'm not going to lie. Today a bit down, I think. I don't know what's gotten into me. Sometimes I feel as if it's a difficult one because I'm bad at reaching out to people. I'm bad at communication. I'm really crap at it. I think I convince myself that I have messaged someone if I think about messaging them, and then I realise I haven't, and then it's a bad time of day to message them, so then I don't, and then time flies by, the days disappear, and I lose touch with people. But then other times I will actively sort of make myself message people and get in touch with people, and I think recently I feel like I'm always the one doing that with some people, like friends and family, and I don't know, it can make you feel a bit lonely, especially when it's just like me and the baby all day, and then when the kids get home from school I'm straight out to work, and then a lot of the time when I get in from work they're in bed, and I'm not complaining about my job because I love my job, and actually like I'm so lucky because I get all the holidays with the kids and I get all the weekends with the kids and stuff. It's just, I don't know, I've just been a bit that way out recently. Made me think I maybe shouldn't do a record today, so it is just going to be a short one today, but it did make me think maybe I shouldn't do it. But then I thought, do you know what, like when I came into this and then when I was open with people about the fact that I'd started doing this, I always promised to be totally honest, and it's something that I always get comments on. You know, listeners say that, like you guys always say that it's the thing that you appreciate because it's so relatable and so honest and so real. I guess we all have bad days, don't we? But I think I am having a bit of a bad day today. Maybe a bit of an up and down week. I've literally just come off my period as well. So that might be to blame. I feel like we can blame Aunt Flo a little bit. I do wish that she would just send a text every month and say, like, hey, just want to let you know you're not pregnant, you know, hope you're good with that. That would be miles better, wouldn't it, than like what actually happens. But yeah, bit of a bad day, up and down week, very much highs and lows. I've been very open about my ADHD, and I watch I'm a Celeb, and Sam on I'm a Celeb has ADHD, and he explained recently, and I got Stuart to listen to it. I was like, you need to hear this because it's so true. He explained about how the highs are so high and the lows are so low, and they're so random. You can jump from one to the other so fast. Like you can be socialising really well and really enjoying a party or a gathering or whatever, and then you can be done, and mentally you can just be like, nope, I can't do this anymore. And that happens to me. Like it's like I burn out really fast, really randomly. It's maybe why I haven't got loads and loads of friends. It's maybe why my circle's so low, it's like small, because when I'm done, I'm done, and it maybe comes across as very rude, and I don't mean it to. And I try so hard to be polite about it and whatever, but it's so hard, isn't it? What a miserable episode this is going to be. I'm so sorry, guys. Next week, I'm going to do the Christmas traditions episode, though. Please keep sending them in. I love hearing them. Well, I should say reading them. You can send it as a voice note if you want, and I can always play it on the podcast. That might be easier if anyone would be comfortable with that. Or you can email me, mamasgonemad23@gmail.com, or private message me them on Instagram at mamasgonemad_podcast. And yes, I did momentarily forget the Instagram handle there. So I think one of the reasons I've been up and down in my emotions this week, obviously it's silly season, it's festive season, life's mental. But I've been kind of reflecting a bit. I don't know what it was the other night. I like to think that loved ones, when they pass away, stay near in some way, shape or form. I'm not religious. I don't disrespect anyone's beliefs, but I also don't like to think that when you when you pass away, you're just gone and that's it. I think it's like my coping mechanism to believe that our loved ones stay near us and you know, keep an eye on us and stuff. Maybe guide us in some way. Maybe sounds mental to people. I mean, I know that maybe sounds a bit mental to even people like Stuart. You know, he's an engineer and everything has to be explained by engineering and because there's no proof of sort of an afterlife or any kind of sign of a soul sort of carrying on after death. He's very sort of like he doesn't disrespect me about it, and he used to laugh at me about it a bit, but he doesn't anymore because now he understands how serious I am about it. But he definitely doesn't believe it. You know, he kind of allows me to believe it, and he knows when to say the right thing. So this week I kind of felt like one of my best friends, for nearly 4 years ago, it'd be 4 years on the 14th, she passed away. She had something called EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and she was one of my best friends, and she passed away, and I remember, I'll never ever forget, I was sat in Stuart's gran's with his mum and dad there, and I was sat by the window, and I got the message off Jodie's sister to say that she'd just passed. And I'll never forget, I just crumbled. And I don't crumble often. I tend to manage stuff. I have PTSD, and I think trauma didn't make me stronger, but I made myself stronger because I had to get through things, you know. A lot of awful things happened to me as a teenager that I've only opened up about to like counsellors and very, very close people in my life. Not a lot of people know about those kind of things, so I think that because I've made myself stronger, it's so rare that I crumble like that, unless I'm sort of just in a safe space. So if I'm with Stuart, I can crumble easily. But obviously his mum and dad and his gran, they're my family too. We've been married for 9 years, nearly, and they are family to me, and I love them to bits, but I don't crumble in front of them like that, what I did this day. And I've been thinking a lot about Jodie, you know, it's coming up to the anniversary, and I've been kind of feeling like she's been near me a bit. It's a strange one. It's like I'll randomly feel like reaching out and speaking to her, like sending her a message or saying, like, because she lived sort of just over an hour away from us, and so I'd go visit her sometimes because she couldn't really come to us. She was very ill, and sometimes I feel like just messaging her and saying like, "Oh, how you doing? I'll come through with the kids and you can see them." And I think I've been feeling that a lot recently. And then you find yourself like realising, don't you, that they've gone. I do it a lot with my grandma as well, because I helped to care for her for the final few years before she went in a care home, and I was her bubble during COVID. Me, Stu and the kids were the only people she really saw. And as the care needed to get more over COVID, before she went in the care home, I was the one doing that, and I was going down, and I find myself doing that sometimes. Like I'll go to ring her, and obviously she's gone, and it's like you have to kind of check yourself, don't you? And you have to gather yourself a bit. And I think being a mum and having children, you find yourself having to really gather yourself and be strong, because you don't want to be like crumbling around them. Although my kids see my emotions, and I'm very open and honest with my kids about my mental health, and they understand that I have bad days, they understand I don't know everything, they understand that I'm just a person. So they do sometimes see me crumble, and I'll explain to them why. I'll say, I was just thinking of Auntie Jodie, or I was just thinking of Grandma Lily, or whatever. And and they're so good about it. Like they're absolute blessings. You know, they'll just come and hug me until I've cried my eyes out into their shoulders, and I know that it'll be seen as like a good, bad, or ugly way of parenting by different people. That, you know, as it might seem as if I'm relying on them for my mental health. But I think it's good to show your kids that it's okay to have feelings and that it's okay to sometimes just fall apart, and to turn to people and have a hug and talk and feel better about it. But yeah, I've been kind of reflecting on everything to do with Geordie, and I think that, so she died when obviously Lily and James were quite young, and after she passed away, I realised that I only still had one photo of me and her. There's definitely more out there somewhere. I mean, God knows, they've maybe been deleted or whatever, but I remember taking photos of her holding Lily as a baby and stuff. So I know there's more out there, but I've never been able to find them. And so because I could only ever find this one photo of me and her, even though she was, you know, one of my closest friends, I went into this thing of we have to photograph everything of the kids. And I think for the past 4 years, I've kind of lost myself being behind the camera. And obviously it's nice to look back on photos, don't get me wrong, like I still take plenty of photos, but over the past week I've sort of said to Stuart, if I start doing it over Christmas, you know, Christmas Eve when they're putting the reindeer food out and doing the... I'm going to cry, this is awful, this must be horrible to listen to, I'm so sorry. When they're doing like the cookies and milk and stuff for Santa, well, we do mince pie and milk, and when they're doing the reindeer food and stuff, I've said to him, like, I don't want it to be me or you behind the camera while they're doing it. I said I want us to be doing it with them. I want us to be in the moment with them. Yeah, maybe get a picture beforehand of them holding the plate or the food or whatever, but then just do it with them and just be in the moment, because I do, nice as it is to look back on photos and see all that and to share it with family and friends, I do kind of feel like my children have lost me to being behind the camera, and I've lost myself to being behind the camera, and instead of watching them grow and watching them do things, I've seen it all behind the lens, and I think it detaches you from the situation slightly. And then as time goes on and you want to get the perfect photo for Facebook or Instagram, I went through a little while, not this year, I think Alessi has worn me down, maybe not last year either, but there was a couple of years there where I went through this stage of like, no, we have to take 1,000 photos because I need one perfect one for family to see, and that's not the real life, is it? It's not reality. Life isn't perfect. Like the other day we were taking pictures of us all in our festive pyjamas, because that's one of our Christmas traditions, and I'll talk about it next week. And we did take quite a few photos, but Alessia wasn't having it. She wasn't in the right mood, so we just kind of let her roam off, and we took some of just us because the kids were enjoying having the photos, so we did that. And then when we were all done with it, we were just done with it, and we did not get even one perfect photo, not even nearly perfect. But now I can look at them photos and think, well, it's not false smiles, it's not me or Stuart saying, come on, just one more or whatever. It's just us all having a bit of a giggle in our Grinch pyjamas and feeling festive and having a good time, because that's what I want it to be from now on. So I've kind of said to Stuart, maybe that'll be my kind of New Year's resolution, but I'm starting it a bit early. Just to not be that person behind the camera. Obviously I love getting pictures of me and the kids as well when Stuart takes them, but I like it when he just takes them. I think for a while we tried to stage a lot of them, and it's not it's not us, and neither me or Stu are great in pictures. Like, we both get a bit awkward when someone takes a picture of us, but it's nice to have them. And I got so caught up in it because of losing Jodie and because of not having these photos and because it was hard. But at the end of the day, I've not forgotten sitting with her and watching, like, Grey's Anatomy, because she was obsessed with McDreamy. I've not forgotten sitting on her bed and talking about, like, Stuart and the kids, and I've not forgotten taking her marshmallows one Christmas because she could eat marshmallows. It's like, sometimes the memories can be enough, you know. I'm so glad we have that one photo still, but I don't want to waste a lot of my life trying to get the perfect one for Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It's weird because for the past 4 years I've took loads of photos every single day. Loads. I don't share them all, but I've always taken loads. But now, for the past sort of week or two, I haven't. Maybe even slightly longer. And it's strange. Like, I don't know. It's. I suppose that. It's just adapting, isn't it, to doing something differently. But yeah, I guess that's my kind of thing that I want to change. Maybe that's what this episode is. It's what I want to change. And it's a reflection on life, and it's a memory of a very good friend and a very, very beautiful person who she loved anything glittery and sparkly, and she loved unicorns. And we all called her Princess Jo. And she loved the rain. She loved going out in the rain. And every year we have a unicorn on our tree, a sparkly unicorn for her. And the kids know that it's Auntie Jo on the tree. They know it's Auntie Jodie. And they know how special it is, and it goes high up on the tree, right in the centre, where it can be seen and where it sparkles off the lights. And I just miss her, I guess. I think that's what Christmas does to you, isn't it? Like, it's my favourite time of year, but it makes you reflect on things, it makes you think about things a bit more. Yeah, sorry, this must have been an awful episode to listen to. But it's reality, isn't it? You know, not everything's always great, not everything's always perfect, we're not always happy. And just a reminder as well, those Instagram shots and those Facebook photos are not reality either. You can guarantee people, if there's a perfect looking photo, there's been 1,000 before that were awful to get that one. And probably a few tears and a few moans and a bit of a fallout. So don't stress yourself over it. No one's got a perfect life. That's not reality. And we all face our demons sometimes. And just don't stress yourself. If you need to, come off Instagram and Facebook for a while. I sometimes do that, and it does me a lot of good. But yeah, I'm going to leave that, I think, for today. So I know it's been a shorter episode, but I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been listening. It means a lot to me. Please keep recommending the podcast to your friends and family, even if it's just the odd episode. It doesn't have to be the whole podcast. Please email me if you want to talk about anything at all. mamasgonemad23@gmail.com. It'll be in the bio. Please follow the Instagram, Mama's Gone Mad, at Mama's Gone Mad _podcast. Again, I forgot it. And hopefully there'll be some exciting things to come, which I'm not going to talk about just yet. It'll be probably a few months before I do, so I apologise for that, but hopefully by the time it comes around you'll all be eager to hear. Please rate and review the podcast as well, and subscribe if you're able to. Thank you so much for listening to Mama's Gone Mad.
Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad. Mama's gone mad.